Move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. All girls all over the world. Original King Julian for the girls, man. I love how all the girls, they love to move their body. When you move your body, you don't move.
I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it. Move it! All right. It is the 14th of December, 2012. That would be 12/14/2012. Now, don't be a hater. It's gangsta. We got a learning target for today. No current event, but it is a wonderful Friday. Be happy. The learning target for today is describe the triangular trade route or the triangular trade. Just in general, what did the triangular trade have to do with slavery? So, finish up that learning target and daily activity, and let's get started with the lesson 2 annotation. Yesterday, you should have done several things. On this page here, on the notes summary section, you should have drawn the continents involving the triangular trade and then illustrated that. For the unit exam, I should know, and the picture, you should have some facts from the lesson, and you should also have some facts from the video we watched yesterday. So make sure you get that done. All right? We are going to be real quick about this. We're not going to go verbatim, which means word for word. I'm just going to go over some more important things here and have you annotate and describe some things, and then I'm going to have you finish the lesson 2 review. And then if there is any time, you guys are going to finish up everything else that you need to finish up, because this is basically the end of the semester. Monday and Tuesday of next week, we will study for the... He's never quiet. He's always loud. Yes, sir. I can't get your toothbrush right now. I'm trying to teach kids. You'll have to get it yourself, sir. All right. Let's see. The objectives. European countries use the age of exploration to become wealthy through colonialism and the slave trade. These practices forever change the Western Hemisphere with positive and negative consequences. Colonialism. There in the objectives. I would like for you to define that word. Kind of describe it to me. What does it mean? As soon as you're done with that, after you've paused it and then continued, we should be on Roman numeral 1, trade, colonies, and mercantilism. Letter A. As Europeans spread their culture all over the world, they proceeded to set up colonies all over the world. 1. Colonies are settlements of people living in a new territory, linked with the parent country by trade and direct government control. So you have already described that to yourself or to me on this piece of paper, so that kind of defines it a little more. Basically, a colony is kind of like, Omaha, sending down government officials here in Grand Island, and they would basically control Grand Island and have all the rules and regulations that Omaha would have. So basically what would happen is a lot of European countries would set colonies in Africa, and they would control the things that were going on there. 2. This trade and government control set the stage for new economic theories and world-changing results. Letter B. The most important economic theory of this time was called mercantilism, which said that the prosperity of a nation depended upon a large supply of bullion, which is gold and silver. I would like for you to define there, do you think that a nation's prosperity or success depends on bullion, which is gold and silver, or do you think it has more to do with other things? Answer that question just right here. Okay. I personally believe that it has to do with other things. People's happiness, success of businesses, success of family, schooling, But they had other ideas. So you tell me what you think. Number 1, also important to mercantilism theory, is to have a favorable balance of trade. Balance of trade is the difference between what a country imports and what it exports. A favorable balance of trade means that a country will export more than it imports. Explain that to me. Pause it and explain. Now let me explain it to you. A favorable balance of trade is that it exports more than it imports. Why would that be? Because if it imports more, it is spending more money. If it exports more, it is making more what? Money. So a favorable balance of trade is that it exports more. It is making more money than it is spending or importing. Hopefully that makes sense. 2, holy moly, that word isn't coming out correctly. To encourage exports, governments granted subsidies or payments to new industries. So subsidies are payments to businesses or industries that are trying to get started to help with exporting as opposed to trying to import. So if a new company in the United States is trying to be created, the government will give it money to make shoes, so to say, so that we would not have to import shoes from another country. So subsidies are the payments that the government would give a business here in the United States so that we would no longer have to import and that we would be able to export. And what's a good balance of trade? That we would actually export more than we would import. 3, government built roads, bridges, and canals. 4, high taxes on foreign goods to keep them out is also part of a mercantilism theory. And 5, colonies were important to mercantilism countries as sources of raw materials and markets for finished goods. That brings us to the slave trade. We have basically gone over all of this. Yesterday we watched a little bit of Amistad, and if you weren't here, make sure that you go back and watch those few clips. What were some of the reasons that slavery was taking place? Well, basically it was a market for an opportunity to introduce people for cheap labor for cane, sugar, also plantations in the Caribbean, which were a part of the Americas. And so remember, the triangular trade was Europeans were taking ships and going to Africa, picking up slaves and then taking to the Americas, and then that's where they were used as slaves. So just understand what the triangular trade route was, or what triangular trade was, and what the Middle Passage was. And so just to reiterate, these two areas here, triangular trade and the Middle Passage, I'd like for you to make sure to underline those two terms and then make sure to define them for me. Alright. Go ahead and turn the page, which is here. You should have all of this done. If you don't have it done, please refer back to the video yesterday. Alright, so going on to Lesson 2 review. Just want you to make sure to finish up that completely. 5 through 7 says describe 3 characteristics of mercantilist countries. That is all what we just discussed. It's all Roman numeral 1, so you can basically put any of those 3 characteristics there. 11 through 20. That's basically worth 10 points, so don't mess up there. Make sure that you write a paragraph. That's, let's say, 5 complete sentences. You do not have to use your textbook, but you can. It's in the back of the room. You can simply Google that and figure out the answer. All right. Hopefully you are pausing this every time I ask you to do something. Now, Lesson 3, we are going to actually cancel that out. So go ahead and just put a big X through this page, and then put a big X through this page, the very last page. So, trying to get through all that as quickly as possible because I know there's some things that you guys still need to finish up. Don't be a hater on the hat. Get everything done that you need to get done. I want to show you guys a little something before we took off for today. I want to show you a picture of me and my wife on our wedding day. Tell me I don't look like a G. Go ahead and look at it. Oh yeah. Look at that lineup. Woo-wee! All right. Get everything done? Holler at your boy.